And if all goes his way, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange may be a free man today. A court in the UK will decide whether to lift a UK arrest warrant against the man who has been living inside the Ecuadorian embassy in London since the year 2012 just to avoid arrest. Now, Assange, who has been guaranteed Ecuadorian citizenship and the right to residence in that Southern American country, could then go to the airport to catch a flight to his new home country. His doctors say Assange is very ill, and earlier this month he appealed on medical grounds to allow Assange to leave the embassy without facing arrest. But just how ill is the 46-year-old Australian-born computer programmer? Senior foreign editor Padma Rao takes a look.
He has a shoulder problem and a lung condition. He needs diagnostic tests, an MRI scan, but he runs the risk of taking those tests in handcuffs. For the second time in barely 4 months, doctors who have examined WikiLeaks' founder, Julian Assange, have appealed to the United Kingdom authorities for safe passage to a London hospital. Mr. Assange has been granted citizenship of Ecuador and the right to settle in the Latin American country too. But Julian Assange is a wanted man, both in the United States and also more immediately in the United Kingdom. For the past 6 years, the man who rocked the world by releasing highly classified US documents has been able to live inside Ecuador's embassy in downtown London's Tony Royal Borough of Kensington. Embassies are considered sovereign territory of the countries whom they belong to. If Mr. Assange leaves the building, though, either for a hospital or Heathrow Airport, he will be on UK territory and runs the risk of being arrested. 46-year-old Julian Assange may be genuinely ill, and WION certainly wishes him a quick recovery. But the curious case of the Australian-born computer programmer has many other dimensions. There's the matter of his newly acquired Ecuadorian citizenship, for one. The faraway country may have one of the most famous or infamous names in the world as their new compatriot. But the president of Ecuador himself seems fed up of Julian Assange already. Most of all because the WikiLeaks founder has continued to comment and express support for various controversial global developments, like the pro-independence struggle in Spain's Catalonia, or worse, in Ecuadorian domestic matters themselves. Mr. Assange was granted asylum in London by the predecessor of the current Ecuadorian president, Lenin Moreno. Mr. Moreno told a television interviewer earlier this week that the WikiLeaks founder has created more than a nuisance for Quito. Referring to Assange's meeting with UK's controversial right-wing leader Nigel Farage and his comments on a domestic uprising in Spain too, President Moreno said Assange had been repeatedly warned not to interfere in internal matters in Ecuador or in any country that is friends with the Latin American country. Ecuador sounds like it can't wait to wash its hands off Julian Assange. So could the latest report on his deteriorating medical condition be a familiar attempt by many amnesty seekers to gain a waiver from arrest on quote-unquote medical grounds? To Indian viewers, this will sound familiar. After all, the Indian media frequently reports how a given crook or corrupt politician about to be arrested suffered quote-unquote sudden chest pain and had to be rushed to hospital. But it's likely to cut no ice with the United Kingdom authorities. They, on their part, may offer free treatment to Mr. Assange, but in handcuffs. For now, the Ecuadorians are sticking to their commitment, no matter how tiresome.
What we do have is an enormous interest in reaching a definitive solution in the Assange case. For this to happen, we are in constant dialogue with the government of the United Kingdom. We have permanent conversations and we are exploring various options to find a way out of the solution. We are also considering and exploring the possibility of mediation with a third country.
The United Kingdom may well demand access to Mr. Assange for its own hand-picked medical team, and Ecuador will refuse. Mediation, even of medical personnel from neutral countries with no stakes in Mr. Assange's health or arrest, may be the quickest way out for the world's most expensive house guest. Padma Rao, WION.